Talk about it's just an absolute horrific case, and it's sickening.
Yeah, this is a developing story that we've been following today. Human trafficking in Spartanburg County. Federal prosecutors charged two men they say bought and sold a 19-year-old woman as a sex slave. Federal officers raided this home in Roebuck last week, where they say the victim was held in a room one suspect called his dungeon. Now on the left side of your screen, Robert Hubert, he is the suspect from the Upstate. He's accused of keeping the victim in a metal collar after investigators say he paid the man on the right side of your screen, Alfonso Juarez, $5,000 to purchase the woman as a sex slave.
And as I mentioned, a horrifying case, maybe one of the most disturbing we have covered here at Fox Carolina. Matt Kaufax has been looking into this today since this was made public by the U.S. Attorney's Office this morning.
Yeah, Cody, Tori, disturbing is just sort of the tip of the iceberg when you describe this case here. The documents I am holding in my hand from SLED detail the criminal history of Robert Hubert, which include multiple drug charges. Now, if convicted, he and Mr. Juarez could face up to life in prison. Neighbors I spoke to say that sentence simply, in their opinion, is not steep enough. Neighbors in Roebuck say they are shocked, saddened, and afraid tonight.
A couple weeks ago, we heard a scream, but we weren't sure what it was. So.
One man who simply wanted to go by Vaughn says he and his family started noticing unusual law enforcement presence off Johnson Road recently.
I'd noticed, the past couple weeks, like a high police presence with unmarked vehicles coming through, which was very unusual.
But Vaughn says he could have never imagined the reason for them being there until he read about the horrific details himself.
Scary, actually, is the word I would use, because I have children and I have teenage daughters, and for it to hit that close to home, I definitely keep my eyes open from now on.
Recent unsealed federal documents tell the terrifying story in which investigators say 66-year-old Robert Hubert purchased a 19-year-old woman from 35-year-old Alfonso Orozco Juarez. In a release, federal officials say the girl initially met Juarez on a dating app around September of 2019. After capturing her, investigators say Juarez advertised her as a, quote, slave on a fetishism website. Prosecutors also say that Hubert, under the alias The Darkest Lord, purchased the girl online for $5,000. Officials say the girl endured, quote, horrific abuse at the hands of both men. Hubert allegedly kept her in a room he called his, quote, dungeon, where she was made to do many things we won't disclose on air. More details are sure to come out in the near future, but for now, neighbors like Vaughn say they are just relieved officers got their man.
Somebody that does something like that kind of crime, they need to go. They need to go.
And if this was not horrific and crazy enough already, officials say the victim was able to escape by bus after Hubert let her call her parents. Otherwise, who knows what may have happened. He made his first appearance, Hubert did, in Greenville last week on October 23rd. Juarez was arrested at his home in Dallas, and he made his first appearance there. We will keep you updated on the details in this case as they continue to come out. In Greenville tonight, Matt Kaufax, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.